Hello students, today we are going to understand the meaning of the different terms used in food. One is food supplementation, food substitution, food fortification and food enrichment. What is food supplementation? A dietary supplement is intended to provide nutrients that may otherwise not be consumed in sufficient quantities. Supplements, as generally understood, include vitamins, minerals, fiber, fatty acids or amino acids among the other substances. Some authorities define dietary supplements as foods, while elsewhere they are classified as drugs or other products. Their intended use of dietary supplements is to ensure that a person gets enough essential nutrients. Dietary supplements should not be used to treat any disease or as a preventive health care. An exception to this recommendation is appropriate use of vitamins. Dietary supplements are unnecessary if one eats a balanced diet. Supplements may create harm in several ways, including overconsumption, particularly of minerals and fat-soluble vitamins, which can build up in the body. The products may also cause harm related to their rapid absorption in a short period of time, quality issues such as contamination or adverse interaction with other foods and medications. We have different types of dietary supplements like vitamins, minerals, fatty acids, amino acids, etc. Vitamins is an organic compound which is required by an organism as a vital nutrient in limited amounts. An organic chemical compound is called a vitamin when it cannot be synthesized in sufficient quantities by an organism. Thus, the term is conditional both on circumstances and on particular organism. For example, vitamin C is a vitamin for human beings but not for most of the animals. Supplementation is important for the treatment of certain health problems, but there is a little evidence of benefit when they are used by those who otherwise are healthy. Minerals are dietary elements which are chemical elements required by the living organisms other than the four elements, that is carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen and oxygen. The commonly used minerals in our daily diet are iron and calcium. Then we have herbal medicine, that is the use of plant for medicinal purpose. Plants have been the basis for medical treatments through much of human history, and such traditional medicine is still widely practiced today. Modern medicine recognizes herbalism as a form of alternative medicine, as a practice of herbalism is not strictly based on evidence gathered using the scientific method. However, the use of plant-derived compounds as the basis for pharmaceutical drugs and the physiotherapy to apply modern standards of effectiveness, testing to herbs and medicines that are derived from natural sources. The scope for herbal medicine is sometimes extended to include fungal and bee products also in certain medicines. Next we have amino acids and proteins. Now the key elements of amino acids are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen, though other elements are also found in the side chains of certain amino acids. They are divided into three different categories. We have the essential amino acids, non-essential and conditional amino acids. Essential amino acids cannot be made by our body and hence have to be supplied by the food that we eat, whereas non-essential amino acids are made by the body from the essential amino acids and in the normal breakdown of proteins. Conditional amino acids are usually not essential except in times of stress, illness, or for someone who is challenged with a long life medical condition. The next dietary supplement which we commonly use is essential fatty acids. It refers to fatty acids which are required for biological processes but does not include the fats that only act as fuel. We also have bodybuilding supplements which are used as dietary supplements by those who are involved in bodybuilding and athletics. These are used to replace meals, enhance weight gain, promote weight loss, or improve athletic performance. Among the most widely used are vitamin supplements, protein drinks, branched-chain amino acids, glutamine, essential fatty acids, and meal replacement products. Supplements are sold either as single ingredient preparations or in the form of stacks, that is, proprietary blends of various supplements which are marketed as offering advantages. While many bodybuilding supplements are also consumed by general public, their frequency of use may differ when they are used specifically by the bodybuilders. Now, what are the advantages of using food supplements? In addition to consuming food, they enable us to derive our daily source of vitamins and minerals. We know vitamins and minerals help protect the body from various diseases. Hence, supplements can offer added insurance that one is meeting daily recommendations of vitamins and minerals, especially in those who do not eat a healthy and balanced diet. They also contribute to improved muscle strength, endurance, and overall physical performance. They are therefore commonly taken by athletes to improve their performance. Some supplements are used in combination with drugs as a method of complementary or alternative treatment for health conditions. Food supplements can also prevent a variety of diseases and health conditions. Like, for example, folic acid is given during pregnancy, which prevents the pregnant woman from various birth defects like spina bifida, which is a birth defect seen in infants and mothers who consume less amount of folic acid in their diet. Vitamin D supplement is also necessary to regulate the amount of calcium in the body, which keeps your bones and teeth strong and healthy. There are, of course, some disadvantages of consuming too much of food supplements. One of the potential drawback of vitamin and mineral supplements is cost. Planning and preparing healthy, nutritious meals is usually less costly than purchasing a quality supplement. Food supplements can cause adverse side effects, like when you consume excessive amount of vitamin A. It can cause liver damage, reduced bone strength, headaches, and birth defects. Large doses of certain vitamins and minerals can also cause nausea, vomiting, nerve damage, weight loss, muscle weakness, and other illnesses. Taking supplements may increase the risk of mega dosing. It's impossible to overdose on food, so the likeliest way to consume excess vitamins and minerals is through taking supplements. Mixing certain vitamins and minerals with each other can interfere with absorption. They may interact with the prescribed medications and make it more difficult to manage. To avoid this, one has to speak to a professionist like a doctor before taking any dietary or food supplement. Supplements are less healthy than food. For example, B-complex supplements provide many nutrients present in whole grains and legumes. They do not provide valuable amounts of protein and fiber present in these foods. Next, let us understand what do you mean by food substitution. Food substitution refers to the replacement of fat, sugar, or calories from a product while maintaining similar shape, texture, color, or taste. Nutrients are sometimes added to produce a substitute product with similar nutritive value. Whipping up healthy recipes may be easier than you think. You can make simple ingredient substitution to create healthy recipes. You don't have to sacrifice taste and enjoyment. Using the substitution guide, you can help to reduce the amount of fat, salt and sugar and calories and prepare healthy recipes. Healthy eating doesn't mean giving up all the foods that you love. Smart substitutions can help you maintain an overall healthy eating pattern even when you're dining out. There are some ways how you can make healthier food choices. Like for example, cereals. Whole grain breads are low in fat. They are also high in fiber and complex carbohydrates, which help you feel fuller for a longer period of time and also prevent overeating. So it is preferable to choose whole grain breads or cereals when compared to the refined or white bread. Try as much as possible to avoid rich bakery foods such as donuts, sweet rolls or muffins. But instant cereals with cream may contain high amount of oil and butter. So prefer whole grain cereals rather than the white flour. We all know fruits and vegetables are naturally low in fat. They add flavor and variety to diet. They are also good sources of vitamins, minerals and fiber. When you're using butter, mayonnaise or sour cream and add fat to vegetables, try using non-fat or low-fat versions of these foods. You can also use non-fat or low-fat yogurt, low-fat salad dressings or herbs as seasoning instead. Always remember to trim the fat of the meat, poultry and fish before cooking them, because this fat contains most of the calories which will add on to your energy content of the food. Try to avoid as far as possible high fat sauces and gravies. When it comes to poultry, skinless poultry can be used, which can be used as stir fried or pan broiled. Poaching, steaming, baking and broiling method of fish is the healthiest way to prepare fish. If good quality fresh fish isn't available, prefer frozen fish, but try to eat sea fish twice a week, because seafood is much better than red meat or chicken. Dairy milk. When it comes to dairy foods, choose skim milk or low fat milk or substituted evaporated skim milk when compared to whole milk. So these are some healthier options how you can substitute the various foods in order to have a healthy diet. Now let us see what we mean by food fortification. Food fortification is a process of adding micronutrients to food. It is a purely commercial choice to provide extra nutrients in the food, while other times it is a public healthy policy which aims to reduce the number of people with dietary deficiencies given population. Diets that lack variety can be deficient in certain nutrients. Sometimes the staple foods of a region can lack particular nutrients due to the soil of the region or because of the inadequacy of the normal diet. Addition of micronutrients to staple food and condiments can prevent large-scale deficiency diseases in these cases. So therefore, fortification refers to the practice of deliberately increasing the content of an essential micronutrient like vitamins and minerals. It also includes trace elements in a food, irrespective of whether the nutrients were originally in the food before processing or not, so as to improve the nutritional quality of food supply and also to provide a public health benefit with minimal risk of health. The most common fortified foods which are used are cereals and cereal based products, milk and milk products, fats and oils, tea and other beverages, and also infant formulas. There are 4 different methods of food fortification. One method is biofortification, that is breeding of crops to increase their nutritional value, which can include both conventional, selective breeding and modern genetic modification. Then we also have synthetic biology, that is addition of probiotic bacteria to the foods. The third method is commercial and industrial fortification, that is flour, rice, oils. These are common cooking foods. Then the last method is home fortification, where vitamin D drops can be added to the food. Many foods and beverages worldwide have been fortified. Although some may view these additions as strategic marketing schemes to sell their product, there is a lot of work that must go into the product before simply fortifying it. In order to fortify a product, it must first be proven that the addition of this vitamin or mineral is beneficial to health, whether it is safe and an effective method of delivery. The addition must also abide by all food and labeling regulations and support nutritional rationale. From a food developer's point of view, they also need to consider the costs associated with this new product and whether or not there will be a market to support the change. Some of the examples of foods and beverages that have been fortified and shown to have positive health effects are iodized salt. Iodine deficiency disorder is a single greatest cause of preventable mental retardation. Severe deficiencies cause stillbirth, miscarriages, and cretinism. But even a mild deficiency can significantly affect the learning ability of population. Today, over 1 billion people in the world suffer from iodine deficiency. Diseases that are associated with iodine deficiency include mental retardation, hypothyroidism, and goiter. There are also a risk of various other growth and developmental abnormalities. Iodized salt is used for treating goiter. The next example is folic acid. It is used in reducing the blood homocysteine levels, forming red blood cells, proper growth and division of cells, and preventing neural tube defects. In many industrialized countries, the addition of folic acid to flour has prevented a significant number of neural tube defects in infants. There are 2 common types of neural tube defects which are seen in infants. One is spina bifida and encephaly. The RDA for folic acid ranges from as low as 150 μg per day for children and 400 μg per day for males and females over the age of 19 and 600 μg for during pregnancy. The main diseases associated with folic acid deficiency are megaloblastic or macrocytic anemia, cardiovascular diseases, and different types of cancer. Niacin also has been added to bread, which substantially reduces the incidence of pellagra. Pellagra is mainly caused due to the deficiency of niacin in the diet, and it is seen among poor families who use corn as their main dietary staple food. Although pellagra can still be seen in developing countries, fortification of food with niacin played a very important role in eliminating the prevalence of this disease. The RDA for niacin is 2 mg per day for adults. Diseases associated with niacin deficiency are pellagra, which consists of 3 main signs and symptoms, which is commonly called as 3 Ds, where 1 D stands for dermatitis, the second D stands for dementia, that is loss of memory, and the third D stands for diarrhea. Others may include vascular or gastrointestinal diseases. One more food supplement which can be added to the food is vitamin D. Though it is a fat soluble vitamin, it cannot be added to a wide variety of foods. Foods that are commonly added to are margarine, vegetable oils, and dairy products. During the late 1800s, after the discovery of curing conditions of scurvy and beriberi, researchers were aiming to see if the disease later known as rickets could also be cured by food. Their results showed that sunlight exposure and inclusion of cod liver oil were the cure. It was not until 1930s that vitamin D was actually linked to cure rickets. This discovery led to the fortification of common foods like milk, margarine, and breakfast cereals. Diseases associated with vitamin D include rickets, osteoporosis, and certain types of cancer. It has also been associated with increased risk for fractures, heart diseases, type 2 diabetes, autoimmune and infectious diseases, asthma, and other wheezing disorders. Fluorine can also be considered as an essential mineral. It is seen as crucial in preventing of tooth decay and maintaining adequate dental health. Fortification of water supplies with fluoride with safe amounts to retain the properties of resistance to dental caries but avoid the staining caused by fluorosis, which is a condition caused by fluoride toxicity. The tolerable upper inner level limit for fluoride range is from 0.7 mg per day for infants and 10 mg per day for adults. Conditions commonly associated with fluoride deficiency are dental caries and osteoporosis. Some other examples of fortification of foods is calcium is frequently added to fruit juices, carbonated beverages, and rice. White rice, which is frequently enriched to replace the lost nutrients during milling or added extra. Golden rice is a variety of rice which has been genetically modified to produce beta carotene. Amylase rich flour is also utilized for food making to increase dietary consumption. So these were some examples for food fortification. Now let us see what you understand by the term food enrichment. Enrichment is defined as a synonym with fortification, and it refers to the addition of micronutrients to the food which are lost during processing. Food companies can enrich foods by adding nutrients in order to replace vitamins or minerals that have been lost during the manufacturing process. For example, refining wheat to make white flour removes most of the B complex vitamins and iron that are contained in this part of the grain. Flour becomes enriched when these nutrients are added back in before it is being packaged. According to the Food and Drug Administration, foods can be claimed to be enriched if they contain at least 10% more of the daily value of the nutrients than a food of the same type that is not enriched. In addition, products can be labeled as enriched when they meet the FDA's definition for a type of food with a name that includes the term such as enriched bread or enriched rice. For our example, the flour can only be labeled as enriched flour if it contains specified amounts of thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, folic acid, and iron. Food supplements are concentrated sources of nutrients or other substances with a nutritional or physiological effect whose purpose is to supplement the normal diet. Food fortification or enrichment is the process of adding micronutrients like trace elements or vitamins. Fortification refers to the practice of deliberately increasing the content of an essential micronutrient, that is vitamins and minerals, in the food, irrespective of whether they are present or not. Whereas enrichment, which is a synonym of fortification, is the addition of micronutrients to a food which are being lost during processing.